Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing with the Terms of Engagement series, where we'll walk through outreach stages where we deepen the connection and engagement with the audience as they continue along the journey of change. In the previous post, we covered Chapter 1 on extending an invitation to the audience to join our efforts. Today, we'll move into Chapter 2 on the conversation. It's not about the birds and the bees, though, so don't worry. Now, this step on the conversation does not exist in the original AIDA model, that's AIDA model, which I roughly base these stages upon. Yet it's an important part of the journey. As a result, many advertisers add a step in for comprehension to fill that gap. And while comprehension may be our desired outcome, I like to think of this engagement process as a conversation. Now, at this point, a segment of your intended audience has opted to join your event or click on a link for more details, which then lands them in the conversation stage. The goal of this stage is to provide more substance behind the initial invitation and evoke a feeling of, I get it now, and I'm excited. You have their attention in this moment. Use it, don't lose it. Keeping the audience engaged in the first few moments of this stage is critical. If they take the time to register or click, they're interested in what you have to say, but can quickly get turned off or bored if they immediately encounter content that doesn't match their energy or excitement levels. Prioritizing which information you share first is essential for this stage. The invitation got the audience to pull up a chair. The conversation that follows must entice them to hang around and continue the journey. Consider how you can kick off this stage using one or more of the following approaches that I'll share. And I'll caveat that all of the examples I'm using of how you can do this, I completely made up. So don't take them at face value. Know that they're just examples for how we can start that conversation with the audience. One approach you can use is lead with welcoming, celebratory messages that they've joined the effort. Like, we're excited you joined the Clean Climate Crew. Welcome. I would argue that you should always use this approach, even if you use some of the other approaches as well. You can showcase what the effort has already achieved and what it wants to accomplish next with the audience's help, such as, since 2021, more than 20,000 people have participated in No Mow May. With your help, we hope to raise this number to 35,000 in the next 2 years. Again, I totally made up these numbers. Another approach, you can share a wow moment by presenting interesting data about the solution or the need, such as swapping out just one meat-based meal a week can reduce our global greenhouse gas emissions by 15%. Mind blown. You can describe how the audience can play a vital role in moving the effort forward. Turning off your outdoor lights at night creates a safer migration path for birds. You can offer the audience something fun to do, like a quick quiz or game related to the topic. Take this quick quiz to test your reducing, reusing, and recycling skills. You can kick off the conversation by outlining the benefits the audience receives from taking action, like shopping with a meal plan can save your family $1,500 a year and prevent food from ending up in a landfill. You can draw the audience in with a compelling personal story. It doesn't have to be your personal story, but it can just be a personal story. Like this example. For years, Raphael struggled with wild animals damaging his crops and livestock, which impacted his income. But he never liked harming them to protect his farm, so he set out to find a better way. And a last example of an approach you can use to draw the audience in with the conversation is to ask them a question, or ask them to share their ideas and experiences. Like, what's the most challenging aspect of taking public transportation or biking instead of driving to work? After presenting these intro prompts, you can then dive deeper into the cause or the desired behavior in ways you could not explain during the previous stage. Let's look at when and where this conversation can happen. Suppose you're hosting a booth for your organization at an event. You crafted a successful invitation pitch that gets event goers over to your booth. Now, how will you keep them engaged now that you've caught their attention and interest? We all know that feeling when someone comes to the table, takes a quick look around, maybe they've poked at a few things, gives us a brief smile, if we're lucky, and then moves on. Ugh. Now, starting a conversation helps us avoid that dreaded experience of losing an audience member. In this setting, this may involve asking the audience a question like, can you guess the top household practice that can reduce greenhouse gas emissions? Or something more lighthearted like, what's your favorite way to reduce your personal footprint? Or when was the last time you saw a whale in the ocean? Or whatever else is more relevant to your topic. This type of lead-in helps you know your audience better and then follow up with a story, data point, or information that is most relevant to them. Now you're tailoring your message to them, which keeps them interested, engaged, and ready to take action. If you deliver a webinar or in-person presentation, try starting with a poll, a question in the chat box, or a prompt to which the audience can raise their hands to. Maybe for you, this stage occurs more passively, like on a website. Even so, try to keep the language as welcoming and conversation as possible so the audience still feels you're talking directly to them. Right on the heels of this stage is Chapter 3, the Ask. Now, our following email discusses ways to keep the audience's momentum going with a clear call to action. We won't be getting into that in today's post, but do stay tuned for the next post on the Ask. Thank you so much for listening. Please feel free to reach out if you have questions or want to talk more about starting the conversation with your audience. Thanks so much. Take care.